Hey, you there. Thank you for watching, and welcome to Forza Lines Forever. Today, I have a 3v3 ladder match here on the most amazing Roxas map generator. So let's go ahead and introduce our teams and our players, starting off with Team 1 here in the north, also known as Blue Team, ending with Team 2, also known as Red Team, in the south. Would love to change the font color to blue to represent Team 1 and Team 2 with the red and blue, but unfortunately, that is not the case. But again, I'm going to start with Team 1 in the north and ending with Team 2 in the south for introduction. Starting off with the Stitch Blue player of Born, going first land as an Aeon. He is a little bit over a 1300 rating. And maybe he'll pull some Born identity, Born supremacy nonsense out of his back pocket. We'll have to see as time goes on. He is the highest rated player in the game and on Team 1. South of him, we have Papa Kababa, not Daba, but Baba. That is a name. Try saying that 10 times fast, going first land as a UEF. And he is a little bit over an 1100 rating. And last but not least, his teammate to the south, it is Amethyst Purple player of Kotzbrocken, going first land as a Seraphim. He is so close to 1000 rating, just needs 13 more points to get to that even 1000 rating. So for Team 1 side of things, for their racial makeup, they have an Aeon, they have a UEF, and they have a Seraphim. No Cybrans for Team 1. Going down south here, starting in the rear here for Team 2, it is the Ruby Red player of Captain Turtle. Very funny that he's not a UEF with the turtle in his name. Going first land, second land as well. He is going Aeon, and he is so close to a 1200 rating. To his north, we have the Chevy Crimson player blending into the environment. It is Dream Stalkers 1, 2, 3. It'd be very creepy to have somebody stalk your dreams. He's going first land, second air, and he is almost in the smack dab of an 1100 rating, between 1100 and 1200. And so he's 11.5. And again, he is Aeon going Chevy Crimson. And last but not least, for Team 2 or Red Team, we have Soul. I want to say Soul or something, but that's not how that is written. Going first land, second air as a Seraphim, and he is also in the middle of his rating between a 1000 and an 1100, so a 10.5. But, you know, Team 2 does not have any UEF, and they do not have any Cybrans as well, which means there are no Cybrans to speak of in this game. Apologies to those spiky space socialists out there. Hopefully you can forgive me for not casting a Cybran in this game, but I don't choose the factions, the players do. So let's go ahead and take a look at that reclaim here before everybody scoops it all up. There are 22,000 reclaim on the field here. Probably was like a little over 23,000, probably 23 and a half. But between 6 players, that is a hefty, almost 4,000 mass. It's more like 3.75k mass. But still, that's a lot of mass for our players to scoop up in terms of the number of players on the field versus the mass on the field. So that is a lot of mechs upgrades. That is a lot of early T1 factories, and we can already see movement here in the east and the west. For our players closer to the middle, we have Seoul going northward to grab this Tri-Mechs expansion, and we have the western player here of Kotzbrocken getting this Tri-Mechs position as well. In terms of other mechs point load layouts, honestly, there's not a lot for 6 players. There's 3 over here, and a 2 and a single. Same thing, of course, here to the north, and a couple of mexes in the middle. There is a Tri-Mex in the middle, but honestly, there's not a lot of mexes, to be fair. And it's going to be more focused on mex upgrades and, you know, mass FAF farms and RASCOMs. This game does go for a while. You probably saw the timestamp, not the timestamp, the time duration, whatever the heck it's called, on the thumbnail. It's a long game, so get some popcorn, get some drinks, whether they be, you know, beers, root beers, juices, macchiatos, whatever you want to do. You know, grab a soda, grab a drink, grab some snacks. I prefer Flaming Hot Cheetos or Chester's fries. They're like Flaming Hot Cheetos, but they're sticks. They remind me of those pretzel sticks, but they're coated in Flaming Hot Cheeto dust, and it's corn. I think it's corn. Maybe it's flour. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Those are one of my go-to favorites for snacks. But then again, in the north, we got to focus on the game here. We have Seoul versus a Bourne Identity, Bourne Supremacy, Bourne Ultimatum, whatever Bourne movie you like the most. Throwing plasma at one another. Does look like Bourne takes a little more firepower than his opponent of Seoul. And he's, don't know what he's doing. He's just standing there. Thought he was building that Team 1 PD, but you going to do something? Anyway, he's just going to stand there, rep up some hit points, and Bourne is going to flee to his homeland in the north. And in the south, we have, again, similar kind of machinations going on between the players here on the western side. We have a couple of flares going at it with some Thams. The Thams trying to stave off that incoming firepower, but looks like that one will take a couple of shots to the chassis. There's a flare going after an ISIL, and does force Team 1's or blue team's COTS back. We do have the comm trying to get his hands on that Giant Mechs expansion, going to force his way into that position. And again, apologies to those that have some issues with color blindness and whatever, because there's a lot of reds, and there's a big red environment, so apologies to those that can't really tell that coloring differential. I wish there was a way to have some like colorblind setting on or something to kind of help you guys out, but I don't have that ability, so apologies for that. There is a T01 bomber on station here, a shimmer out here from the player of Captain Turtle. Captain Turtle getting a T1 PD online to help assist with defense. Kotzbracken opens into the back of that Captain Turtle's ACU. That has got to hurt. He's like, hey, stop it. Stop firing at me. And now the comm does go after that T1 PD, that Eruptor. Captain Turtle's like, I'm just going to build my template. I don't care. I don't care what's going on. The PD has been established. There's a couple of Thams coming in to assist, and a bomber as well. Lots of early aggression here from the play of Kotzbracken. He wants to keep shoving southward. There's a couple of T1 radars as well to help in that intel gathering realm. Would like to see one of those here on the eastern side for Seoul. I don't know what it is, but Seoul is really fun to say, especially when you say it like that. I don't even know if that's how it's pronounced. Somebody, please let me know if that's how it's pronounced. I highly doubt it is, but I like saying it that way. So if I'm wrong, let me know. And if I'm not, cool. We have a counter T1 PD, but the PD has... It wasn't counter. It was actually the PD for Captain Turtle. Kotzbracken actually stole it. He captured it. Rarely do we see that mechanic used in this game where it's captured, not reclaimed, not destroyed, not whatever the case may be. It was captured. And it just hurts because these are all red teams or Captain Turtles as well as protecting that PD that he spent his mass on. So that has got to hurt, and a couple of T1 mechs do go down here for the player of Kotzbracken. I think I'm saying that name right. It sounds German or some kind of Germanic language, at least at the minimum. So again, obviously, of course, maybe it's not obvious, but always, 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 if I say something wrong, if I'm wrong on something in terms of the numbers, in terms of how much damage something does or what it does, please let me know down in the comments. I want to be corrected, because the better knowledge I have about the game, better I can pronounce the players, all that sort of thing. Makes the experience better for everyone, so please assist me in that if I do say something wrong. But we have a lot of T1 bombers coming after Captain Turtle. The air player here for Team 2 actually is Captain Turtle as well. I would like to see some interceptors being thrown at this. There are some inbound, but he is suffering here. Sub 4,000 hit points. Every bomb that lands takes out a chunk of hit points, and those bombs are not stopping. There are some Thams trying to chase down that comm. The comm is out of range. He's now in the red, and there's still bombers circling him. More units are coming in. Team 1 very aggressive from Kotzbracken to try to kill off the air player here of Captain Turtle. He is suffering. He is dropping below 1,000 hit points, 700, 500. Gets a rank inventory, but it doesn't matter. He's killed off 9 minutes in this game. I do have some apologies to give to Captain Turtle. You have now become a statistic in my whole somebody dies before 20 minutes thing. So that's gotta suck. But it's just kind of, you underestimated your opponent or didn't have much AA. Was bringing in more AA as we speak, but man, that's gotta hurt. And now it's 3v2 in favor of blue team. We have T2 going down here for Bourne to get some of those hit points up and running. We also have Sewell with some T1 PD to protect his investment as well. But just to compare here for a second while we kind of focus on the land battle going down south. Team 1, or blue team, has gotten a nice chunk of land, especially land that should belong to Team 2 or Red Team. And Red Team hasn't been able to puncture as much as their opponents, and this will be a huge advantage early on, especially for that early mass income. I mean, it is tied for now. The downside is, if you want the same amount of mass income, you have to upgrade. Well, that takes mass away from units, that takes mass away from other things, and Team 1 can go all to spam up some T1 mechs and just call it a day. These two, maybe looks like they were assassinated. They has to rebuild those, but that's a lot of mass that they just have. Oh, I'll upgrade this one, I'll upgrade this one. And, already at 10 minutes in, and Team 1, we can start to see that pull away just slightly, but that's due to the fact that Team 1 has a larger percentage of the land game, and they're building those T1 mechs, and they're holding them. It's one thing to just build one, have it for a minute, and have it be destroyed, and have the other team take it over. It's another thing to build it and then hold it for 5, 10, 20 minutes. Makes a huge difference in that mid to late game with that eco advantage. But we have a Mongoose that made it out of range of that Aeon almost sniper commander of Dreamstalker. And again, he has a huge issue going on. A huge column of units coming out here from Kotzbrocken, forcing his way into Team 2's territory. I would love to see some sort of play with going into the ponds. I know there's one person who's going to comment about that down in the comments. I know who you are. I know you're going to say it, and we'll have to see if they use it. I would like to see it, especially just T2 cruisers, just to kind of, hang out, take out some, air units, that sort of thing on either pond. But again, it's what the players are focused on, what the main goal is, that sort of thing. And Navy might not be on the cards, but again, it is an hour. I think it's like an hour and a half game almost, so we might see Navy in those ponds. We'll just have to wait and see, as some people will say. But we have one Tham, makes it past a couple of units here. Team 2 is pumping out those tanks, those Auroras. They are, not really strong in terms of hit points, but what they make up for it in what they lack in hit points, they make up for it in range. And that Tham doesn't even get a chance, gets immediately taken out. These are a lot of Aurora throwing themselves at their opponents. That Mongoose, not Mongoose. That is a plural of Mongoose. Mongoose does get taken out. Dreamstalker gets some nice veterancy on that commander. Has 1 star, working on his second one. Needs that extra hit point regen, of course, because he's going to be on the front lines for a while. He needs to keep running back and forth. The comm of Kotzbrocken looks like is falling back. He's moving to this position. Interested why he's moving there. I mean, better defensively, I don't know. We'll have to see as time goes on. Team 1's assisting units out here. Some Skyboxers. That's it. And some, what are these? Archers, that's what they're called. So AA is always nice to have, just kind of reinforcing this position. Doesn't want any bombers coming in and just taking it out automatically. Team 2 has suffering another loss here in the east. There is a run by going on the cards here for Team 1's Born going into the main base here against Seoul. And Seoul is being able to force back this push out here coming from Born's comm. But that was the diversionary force. This is the main force. T1 Aurora are just running amok in this base here. They're not doing a lot of damage, but they're annoying Team 2. And there is something to be said about just annoying Team 2. Because the more you annoy them, the more you force their APM somewhere else and not on the front lines, not on ecoing up, not on doing these, the normal things. It's more time that buys you for other projects like going for T3 air or going for T3 land really early on. I'd say early, but 14 minutes is a little early, I think. But all these T1 mechs are just being wiped off the face of the land. There's no units nearby. There are some engineers, but that's it. A couple of Thams are on station, but they're going to be killed pretty quickly. So this force of war, great use of tech. They float. That's why they were able to use that pond. Great move here by Born. He's being forced back a little bit. Does have some assistance in those fervors and Aurora, of course. That comm of Seoul probably just does not care and is just going to go straight forward. But Kotzbrocken is defeated by Dreamstalker. Looks like Dreamstalker was chasing him down with that Aeon comm of his. And unfortunately, I did miss it. Apologies. We were focusing on what was going over here. But that is a counter kill here for Team 2. It's now a 2v2 game here at 14, almost 14 and a half minutes in this game. What a bad team. Kotzbrocken. I wouldn't say that. I mean, you got a kill early on, and you were, not super far forward. You were kind of far forward. You were retreating. Crimea River is born. Okay, hold on. I enjoy the salt as much as the next guy. But why in base is Kotsbraken talking to Papa Kababa? I mean, he's not on the front lines. He's more the middle lane player. And with most of the avenues kind of just, balled up, trying to engage in this little, valley area, not a good idea because, units bunch up, a couple of bombers come in, wipe half, or force it out. I mean, it's not the best engagement. It's better to have the opponent go through the valley, be on your side of the map, and then kill everything, and then get the mass for it. So, and doesn't really need to be on the front lines. He could be over here, which is a good point here by Kotsbraken to be on this west side to assist. But, no, I don't know, maybe be on the east side. Things could be said for both. If he's going to use his comm more for kind of an eco role, I understand keeping it in the base, but I mean, with 3v3 game, you kind of want your comms on the front line and then fall back later on kind of thing. I don't know. There is an argument to be said for both. But everything that was owned by Team 1 has been essentially wiped out. Team 1 going to give up everything here and just cede territory in the middle of the map. They got a decent amount of work out of those mexes. Of course, there were a couple of T2 mexes as well that were under the control of Kotsbraken. And in terms of in terms of mass per second, Team 1 is winning by almost 50 mass a second. That's a decent chunk of mass here at 16 minutes in this game. They've accrued about 8,000 more mass than their opponent, which that's not a whole lot. But, stuff does add up after a while. A couple of T2 defenses are coming on in the middle. We have TMD, we have a shield, we have more TMD, artillery. We see some AA in there. Love to see the mix of defenses here in the middle here for Papa Kababa. That's also a fun name to say. I don't know. A lot of the names in this game are kind of fun to say. I don't know what it is. We have T3 units coming out. Cougar, very interesting, going for the AA, not necessarily the firepower. We have some Ilshis as well, so would love to see those Titans mixing in a little bit here for the UEF player of Papa Kababa. Being able to raid, being able to just annoy. You could easily kind of try to skirt some by that comm and try to go around this way. You could try to go for T2 Navy here and get those cruisers online to start pumping missiles out. There are a couple of plays you can do over on this west side. I mean, Kotsbraken, obviously, I don't blame him for being annoyed. He died, early. He does become another stat for me to another notch to say, look, another player died before 20 minutes. Look at that kind of thing. Obviously, he probably doesn't know that, but in my eyes, he becomes another stat for that sort of thing. We do see a nice buildup of T2 units, those Ilshis on this eastern side here for Seoul. Trying to, again, establish his position here. He's starting to be, getting hemmed in. He needs some, attacking, probing attacks to get around this main front line. There is a way around right here on the edge of the water. He could try to build some sort of mounting force this way, come in, take out a couple of perimeter mexes and keep going in the back line. That's probably what I would do. Send just a couple of Ilshis, not a lot, just a little bit, just enough to just annoy. Again, you want to annoy your opponent. I mean, you want to go for wins, of course. You want to go for kills and all of that, but constantly trying to force your opponent to look at 10 different things at the same time will mean that he can't focus on one thing. And it's the whole multitasking, efficiency, that sort of thing. And right here, he's moving with a couple of T1 Zuis to try to go after those T1 PD. And he's going after those Aurora. He does have a gun and nano, so again, 82 hit points with the second veterancy. Nice curve on that overcharge there. Takes out, again, the rest of those Aurora. He's going to keep pushing forward, go after those PD, try to force the units to engage, which is exactly what he wants. He wants the units to engage on his terms. A lot of the PD has been taken out, though. And there's actually not a lot of units, not as much as I thought there were. Of course, there are Ilshis in the mix, and they're over here. Not over here. He needs to force his comm back. There he goes. There is a strat bomber here on the east. Does Team 1 notice it? Well, they see it, and there is not really a lot of response. A lot of air as well. Team 1 lacking in the T3 air department. Huge advantage. That T3 bomber should be going after higher value targets. Maybe something back here. Going after P-gens would be good. Going after anything and everything that's more vital than just the T1 mechs. Because the longer Team 1 knows about this, the more time they have to prepare. Bomb comes in, takes out a PD and 1 mechs. I mean, I get trying to just, again, annoy your opponent, but you have a huge advantage right now. T3 just started, or just finished, I should say, So they're going to start producing that PGen and then producing ASFs as we speak. So this is the perfect time to go after that PGen, deny the build order, deny the, you know, T3 air facility not upgrade, but just advancement as quickly as you can. We have some Titans. It does look like Papa Kababa did hear me from the ether. He's going to run by, murder all of these T1 units, all these Aurora. Dreamstalker trying to do what he can to force this pushback. There's Ilshis in the mix here with Titans. That's a deadly combo. Lots of rapid fire shots going in constantly. Dreamstalker is going to get a nice veterancy here, up to 4 stars. Soon to be 5 stars here once he kills these Titans off. Overcharges them constantly, of course. The Titans focusing on literally everything else but the comm. I feel like that might have... I mean, maybe they would have had enough to kill him. It would have been close, at least. Another overcharge into that Titan. Kills it outright, and now they're focusing on the comm. It's just an Ilshi, a Tham, and a Titan that's really threatening this comm here. Forcing the comm back. I do love the shield generator here, the mobile one. Trying to shield these units. Love to see that. They're going to try to move southward. There is one PD built, but I don't think that's going to stop a lot of these units. Of course, the Tham doesn't get killed off. Oh, it might kill the Titan off, though. Oh, but they're just going to keep going. They don't care. They're just going to keep going. They're just going to run by that. They don't care. That's going to be a lot of T1 Mechs down in that corner of the map. We have artillery going down. Strat Bomber is going after targets in the back line here. Doesn't go after those PGens, though. Goes after a T2 Mechs being upgraded, I think, as we speak. No, it wasn't upgrading. I think it was just being built. Couple of ASFs to guard it. Another bomb going out, taking out another T2 Mechs. That's a lot of stuff that thing has killed. 23 kills, 9, almost 7,000 mass killed. That is a decent chunk of mass. Going after what's going it down here. It doesn't have a lot of hit points left. It's in the yellow. Going after another T2 Mechs. Oh, that's gotta hurt. Now it's killed 6.7 thousand mass. Has 2 veterancy on that bomber, and will just return back to base. And could have gone after those PGens. Could have killed both those PGens, but now, of course, Bourne has enough power to start producing some air. Superiority Fighter is going to build a chunk of them as well to try to kill that bomber and just defend himself. It does look like the comm has pushed severely far north, and I don't know if this was the best idea. T1 units being thrown at T2. They are Ilshis. There are some of those missile launchers in the mix. Some of them will be killed off, but the Ilshis will deal with this T1 force, and now the comm of Bourne is just kind of stuck in his firebase over here. We have Team 2's Seoul splitting their forces up. Bomber constantly going and taking out outlying targets. Doesn't want to go into any AA territory. Wants to rep up those hit points first. Maybe take out some T2 not point defense, but TMD. There's a lot of inties over here. It could kill that bomber off. But the comm of Dreamstalker goes down to Papa Kababa. Eventually does get taken out by Titans and a sniper bot. Again, almost in the same spot that Kotzbrocken was killed, but now it's a 2v1. This game goes on for another hour, so we're going to see how that plays out. Again, it's now a 2v1. Seoul inherits everything else. He has to manage the entire game by himself. Might get some coaching in from the, yep, here we go, from Dreamstalker saying, hey, you should do this and do this and do this and that kind of thing, so that will help relieve some of that subcom brain. But we have units here to the west being destroyed quite, just one-sided here. Sniper bots just pot-shotting everything. Used for T2. Gunship, says Deathstalker. I do like that, just the facility just to produce some gunships. This is Aeon, right? I don't really like Spectres. Spectres aren't bad, but he's producing Restorers. That's not a bad idea, actually. Restorers, better use on, AA efforts. If you're going to do a horde of gunships instead of ASF, there is something to be said about that, but you should still have ASFs as well. You shouldn't go full gunships. The comm has split away from his main force. His main force is just going to charge. There's a couple of T2 Oblivion turrets trying to be spammed up to prevent this incoming incursion. There's a mass storage that was built but then stopped. Team 1 still producing more mass than their opponent of Seoul, and we have a T3 Restorer on station, and not really known for its air-to-ground weaponry, but again, at this case, anything is better than nothing. Goes after the AA first. Good play, of course. The Ilshis are moving in, and they're getting by those Oblivions. The Oblivions known for high damage, but not known for their fire rate. And in this case, not, both of those aren't really useful because there's just a horde of Ilshis coming for this northern base here. Lots of engineers are dying. Pigeons are under threat here. T2 and T3 variety. A couple of T1s just kind of hanging out though. They're being frankly ignored. T2 Pigeons are the main target first. They could have been destroyed by that bomber, but hindsight 2020 and full vision and whatnot. Anyway, and I can pause the game whenever I want. Restore's trying to be pumped out, but they just can't deal enough damage. And there goes that T3 Pigeon. How is Born's power generation doing? It's not doing great. The T3 air headquarters goes down 25 minutes in this game. Not to artillery, not to a strap bomber, not to gunships, not to attack missile launchers, not to any of that. Just T2 Ilshis, T1 support, and we have a Selen in there. We have a couple of missile launchers. We have those Ilshis running amok here. T2 Mechs is now going to be the target here. The eco here for Born is just suffering. And there goes that T2 Mechs. Another one going to die. This is a huge grab by Sewell. He needed this to kind of help reset himself. He's suffering a major incursion in the west here. ACU says Born. That is not the ACU, sir. That is a T2 assault bot. Ilshi just kind of hanging out, taking some missile fire. Another T2 Mechs gone. There are some very slow moving air scouts moving in to just kind of hang out and see what's going on. Units need to do something here. There is a sniper bot here. There's a Percy as well. Those units need to go, I think, westward would be the best case. There's a couple of Oblivion turrets that are now coming into range. Very flat terrain, so these Oblivions can hit a lot of things. There are some ASFs in the area to take out those gunships. We have some Cougars in the mix as well to take out the said ASFs. Team 1 doesn't have, well, they do have another T3 air facility, to be fair, so they're not completely knocked out of that T3 air game. But Oblivion turrets are going to be enough to stop the rest of this push. This Cougar will die, though, unfortunately. And there's a nice sniper bot opportunity. That thing only has 700 hit points. It's not being focused, and there is that push. But look at the devastation in the north. The entire original base of Born is gone. That's got to hurt. And we just have Papa Kababa. And he's just the main driving force for pretty much most of the game for now. He has a nice amount of sniper bots. Would like to see more units. We have a couple of Percys in there. But, Papa Kababa, has 3 Percys. They're mainly sniper bots. And there's, one Cougar. So a couple of gunships can easily come in. And those are inbound as I speak. Is this going to be a restore versus restore game? Obviously, I checked to make sure the game doesn't have any, desynced, whatnot. And it does not. And they're going after those Cougars. Those Cougars are ripping those restores to shreds. These are not engaging. Why aren't they engaging? There we go. Now they're moving. One restorer does go down. I feel like that death could have been prevented had all of them been engaging. But now all these sniper bots are going to die. All these units are going to die. We have ASF coming in, mixed in with a bunch of air scouts and a bunch of other T1 NTs. But those missiles on those restorers are going to chew through a lot of those weaker units. And we're just going to get a nice view of this, all this blue triangles disappearing. Of course, they're focusing on taking out the ground units, but that's going to be a problem. T3 lightning tank, they're going to go after that as well. Taking out the AA support is definitely the play here. And then all those inties are gone. Team 1 doesn't have really any air to speak of. Team 2 doesn't really have any air to speak of, except for just, of course, the restore ball that is formed. Taking out these would be best. Don't charge. Would not be a good idea to charge in. There's going to be AA forces been built up. There's going to be SAM sites or T3 AA in general. So that's not. I wouldn't go for it. He's going to go for it. Okay, well, we'll see how this works. This is the major play so far. Restore. That lightning tank missed. I don't know what that lightning tank was shooting at. And maybe there was just an attack order or something. I don't know. Where? I don't know where they're going. They're going after a T3 land headquarters. Land facility, not headquarters. Land headquarters is right here. But again, not really good, not really known for their air-to-ground weaponry. Going through Seraphim Shields, not the best idea. Go after things you can hit. Some Titans retreating back to base. More restores back here. They've called those back to base. A siege tank gets ripped to shreds by those restorers. A Percy's going to get mostly ripped to shreds as it walks by. Only 1,400 hit points left. We'll kill off this Percy, though. That one does not get away. So look at the devastation. Team 1 is starting to rebuild. We see Bourne trying to get back in this game in terms of mass per second. He's at 75 right now, trying to just scavenge what he can. T2 on the way here for Seoul to protect his comm. Maybe he's going to build some facilities up here. Maybe some of those black cannons. Maybe T3, AA as well. Yeah, he's going to go straight for T3. Going to take him a couple of minutes. But this game has really changed. 30 minutes in this game. It was a completely different game about 10 minutes ago. But let me know down in the comments who you think is going to currently win. No, it's a little bit later than I normally ask it. I usually ask about the 20-minute mark. But again, hit that sub button. Let me know down in the comments who you think is going to currently win. Is it going to be Seoul, the last man standing here for his team? Or is it going to be the Aeon, UEF comms of Papa Kababa and Bourne? And, of course, share this video with your friends, your dog, your cat, your gerbil, your snake, your ferret, your fox, whatever animal, pet. Maybe go to the zoo and share it with with a gorilla or lion or something just to say, hey, you should watch this guy. Anyway, again, I just want everybody to see more FAF content because more FAF content equals more awareness. More awareness means hopefully more players. More player means obviously bigger player base, which means more people are playing FAF, which means good because the game's surviving, it's thriving, it's growing. Things. One of the reasons why I started this channel in general was I felt like there wasn't enough FAF content on YouTube, and I feel like that's one way that I can do this. I did start it off with a little bit of Star Wars, but then I was like, I need to do FAF. I've been thinking about it for a long time. I should pull the trigger, and that's, I've grown to at least 814 at the current recording of this video. So again, thank you so much for the support, and we have a huge amount of forces moving in. Well, not a huge amount. They're just supporting a Fat Boy. Would love to see the Fat Boy being used as a factory there, Papa Kababa. Use it. Use it. I'm now taunting the players. Sometimes I feel like taunting them is kind of fun. Like, hey, you should do this. Hey, you should do this. Because sometimes I feel like as a caster, I lose the viewer aspect of, like, oh, you should be doing this, and oh, you should be doing this, and, like, why'd you do that move? You're dumb. Kind of like a sports fan watching. I do want to kind of interject that a little bit more and kind of feel like I'm a caster, but I'm also a viewer. So I feel like I've lost that a little bit. I'm trying to get it back. If that's something that I should do, let me know. If it's something that I shouldn't do, let me know. Let me know your feelings about kind of being. I'm going to be a caster, of course, but I'm also going to try to be, a fan, being like, hey, stupid, you're not supposed to be doing this. Not going to say I'm saying anybody stupid in particular, but just, hey, don't do that, do this. Or, hey, you're doing a good job, you should do more of this, or whatever. But T3 still going on the way here in that pond in the northeast. I don't know what he's doing up here. We'll see as time goes on. Of course, we have a large air scout attempt. They won't see him, of course, because they need Omni to see him underneath the surface of the water. And as I do love the attempt to just see a bunch of vision. I do love that. Unfortunately, it's not going to do you a whole lot of work if you don't use it. And of course, you see the little scouting circles left because the air scouts from the Seraphim variety do leave kind of an AoE kind of blurb of vision. Not super long. It's enough to kind of get some idea for a couple of seconds to make the death of an air scout a little bit better. But, we have a Fat Boy here to the west. It's still not producing units here. We have a couple of shields protecting it. They are the Seraphim variety. Love to see the mix of units. We have Titans. We have Lightning Tanks. We have Percys. We have Cougars. We have Sniper Bots. That's it. Would love to see maybe some Authams in that mix. But are these restorers enough? They're going to target the AA first. That would be the smartest thing to do. And they are targeting the Cougars, it looks like, first, not the Lightning Tanks. I don't know which one is better, one way or the other. Somebody in the comments will probably let me know one AA is better than the other. Obviously, AA is better than no AA. That is a lot of restorers, though. See, this is where that Fat Boy production facility could come in handy. Just T2 flak would be great just to pump that out. We do have a couple of AA shots coming off the Fat Boy, but it's not a lot. Oh, there's still another Cougar online. They're going to lose those restorers. There they go. The order has been given to go after him. There's no one down here. Oh, and they're just going to go straight for the Fat Boy. I think Team 1's having some power issues. Maybe Papa Kababa, how's your power going? No, it's fine. So that Fat Boy does go down in enemy territory, and those units will have to retreat. Didn't have enough AA. That's definitely a mistake, because Papa Kadabra should have known, or should have been paying attention, that Team 2's Sewell, last player remaining Sewell, that's all he's doing, or at least that he had a huge amount of restorers, so he should have known to produce flak and T3 AA, because you need a mix of both. You need the single fire targets of the T3 variety, and then you need the flak targets, or the flak fire weaponry, especially against gunships, because they just sit in little balls. They kind of just hang out and kind of float, kind of just, relax, don't really fly back and forth. So they don't really have to worry about getting shots in. You know you're going to get shots in for gunships, and all those forces retreat, at least the ones that did get away. We have a couple of engineers on the front line building SAM sites. That is very far forward. If he notices that site is gone, doesn't notice it. He does notice it. He catches that out of the corner of his eye at the last second. SAM site does get built, targets one of those restorers, and just gets immediately chewed up. I mean, you could just let the engineers build a SAM site most of the way and then kill it off and have Team 1 spend the mass. But we have a nuke online, a Stone Angel coming out of Papa Kadaba's base. Oh, Papa Kababa. I don't know why I say Papa Kadaba. I don't know why I default to that. Nano repair, advance going on the way for him in the pond. 20,000 hit points, 102 hit points a second, and then advanced nano will just skyrocket that region up. He has 2-star veterancy, so it won't be full, but he has a chicken on the front line. This base, unfortunately, here for Bourne is not enough. If the chicken just charges in, I think he kills the comm right here. There's a couple of artillery in placement, these miasma. There's a couple of oblivions, but there's not a lot of protection. And in terms of defense, he needs more units. He needs some more mobile firepower. And that chicken is just going to go straight in. I do like the fact that he was putting some oblivions on the cliff edge just to protect for some incursions over here. But unfortunately, that comm needed like 3 or 4 times the firepower in this space. And we have Optims coming in to just charge straight in, deal a lot of that damage. The chicken is taking most of the firepower, allowing the Optims to be perfectly fine. We have lightning tanks in the mist as well. They can target ground units as well. That's very nice. Miasmas are dead and gone. That comm is heading northward out of range, or at least trying to get out of range. But that chicken, it's a little, let's see, how many hit points? It's a little under half hit points left. Was that 57? No, that's 67. Okay. Sometimes it's kind of hard to see the numbers, especially when the bar is like right in the middle of the number. And yeah, that chicken is going to chase that comm down. That comm is just going to say, see ya, bye. And the chicken actually just ignores him, going for other high-value targets. Very interesting. Doesn't want to give everything over to Papa Kababa. Just wants to kind of let Bourne do his own thing. That's a deadly force here. Unlike the force down south, that it was good. It was a good-sized force, just needed way more flak and needed way more AA. And Team 2's Sewell is just ramping up. He's going for ARAS now. He just gave away his gun. He's at 44,400 hit points. Needs a couple more 4s in there, but 4. But chicken's still pretty healthy. Ramping up its hit points, 45 hit points a second. Nothing to scoff at, of course. And restorers are going to come in. They are coming into some flak bases here, some flak artillery. And they are going to chew through those hit points quite nicely, because they just sit there. But there are some ascendants here as well that will help assist in that flak game. And I'm noticing more and more that as much as PD and AA defenses, all of, the stationary ones are good to have. Oh, we have a comm transport just getting out of dodge. Don't blame him there. Good thing he wasn't being attacked by restorers. That'd be very interesting. Anyway, I'm noticing more and more that it is better just to have mobile units. Just have mobile AA, have mobile, PD in terms of tanks or whatever the case may be. Just better. Because then you can move them around. You can, have them retreat. There's a lot more you can do with, mobile units versus, oh yeah, there's this thing that just sits here. And if a nuke comes, I can't move it out of the way. If an army comes in, I can't move it out of the way. So there is something to be said about that. But the base for Bourne is just... I feel bad He isn't even producing, he's not even making facilities up here in terms of factories. He's just going to say, oh, it's just going to be eco and call it good. But a large line of units. We have a decent amount of Optims and, of course, Restorers guarding it. Team 1 doesn't have a lot of air forces to speak of. They're building more defensively. They're building a lot of Ravagers. They're building a lot of AA emplacements. I don't blame them because they're facing down a big army that is inbound and a nice air force as well. In Team 2's Sewell is keeping back ASF as well. But down south, we also see a huge force down here. Not going in the Fat Boy variety, but going more in the Titans, Shields, lots of Cougars. Lots of Cougars. Would love to see. Yep, there are some mobile AA flak in there as well. Team 2's Sewell, or just Sewell in general, because he's the only member on Team 2 left. Doesn't really have anything on the ground to defend this. Has a couple of restorers, but that's it. And it's not going to look good. This base down south, and maybe in the middle one, is under threat. In the north, this base is entirely knocked out. I don't know if we'll have a base trade. I haven't seen one of those kinds of games in a long time, but essentially we might have some sort of we'll have one main base for both teams and that's it, because it's hard to manage the entire territory. They don't engage. They fall back. Or at least they regroup at least. That is very, very dangerous, because the more time you give Sewell to build defenses, build stuff up, the harder it is to take him out. This is now the main base for Bourne. Bourne is essentially just going to be knocked out of this game. I feel bad. But Sewell is targeting the highest rated player in the game. I don't blame him in that aspect. All ASFs have been eliminated. Restorers come in. We have Optims inbound. Some restorers are being taken out by those flags, but the Chicken's taking a lot of fire, trying to take out those land defenses. We have a Continental coming in to assist. That thing does not last very long. Should not have sent that thing to begin with. How's that Chicken doing? 3-star veterancy. T1 PD assisting. T2 PD assisting as well. These pigeons are going down quickly. There goes that air facility. It is out of commission. And essentially the only thing left standing for Bourne is just a couple of units and facility. Not even any facilities, I think. Well, there's a facility up here, but that's it. That has got a couple of mexes up here. The eco here for Bourne, 42. Sewell at 437. He's producing more than his opponent. And as we noticed, this force is inbound. T2 PD has been spammed up. Most of this wasn't here a couple of minutes ago. Had those units engaged when they did, it would have been a lot easier game to deal with, or a lot easier defenses to deal with at least. But Restorer's trying to stay out of range of that AA. But the lightning tanks can attack ground units, but once all the ground units, the Titans and whatnot, are dealt with, that's essentially all the firepower here. There are a couple of Percys back there. And we have more Restorers. This should be just T1 bombers at this point. Just churn out whatever you can. There is an Otham trying to do what he can. All these units are running through that front line defenses, and a lot of the Percys have dealt with most of that PD now. This base is essentially going to be wiped off the face of the map. They should have probably gone down south first. There are more Restorers being built. This is, they're both secondary facilities. This is the main facility up here. How's that attack going down in the north? Well, that that Chicken is leading the charge against the main base for Baba Kababa. This match is at 42 minutes. How does this match keep going on for another, 40 minutes? The Restorers need to move in. That Chicken will die off. The Chicken needs to get into the main base. Go after those T3 pigeons. Go after those defenses. Go after anything and everything. The shields. Just take anything and everything. There goes a pigeon. That's got to hurt the eco there. The T3 land headquarters. That's going to die as well. The Chicken's at 5 stars. The Othams are just sitting there. You need to engage. Either use them while you have them or not. Ravagers being spammed up. Fat Boys being spammed up. We have Rascoms being built as well. There is another facility down south as well, so it's not the only base. But that Chicken will die. The Othams are given the go-ahead to go in. Looks like Sewell's distracted with what's going on down south. He needs to protect his main air facility. That's the main thing. He does have a Chicken, and he's chasing those units away, so he'll lose a lot of his mass back here, but his main facility will stay online. The Chicken does end up dying off way out of range to deal any sort of other damage. A couple of pigeons stay online, but that is it. The Nuke is halfway done. Team 1, they do have that in their wheelhouse, their magazine. We have 3 anti-nuke missiles, though, so this base would be perfectly fine. Chicken still chasing anything and everything down. We have a Chicken of Team 1's own going in for this southern base, facing off against a bunch of Restorers, though, with no flat coverage, no AA coverage. Not really the best environment to be in, unfortunately. And now that chicken is chasing down all those other units. Titan's trying to stay out of range. Percy's being demolished by the chicken. This is a very weird game, folks. Don't know what's going on. Really, really weird considering we only have one player on team 2, one player on team 1 as well. I mean, Born does exist, of course, but it doesn't really have a lot. He has one T1 facility producing a stealth field to protect himself. Otham's running into the engineers down here. Oh, look at this. There's a comm over here just hanging out. Team 1 could end this game if they have some of those torp bombers, but I highly doubt they're going to go for him on that eastern side, even if they know if they knew he's there, maybe, but probably not. That push down south was dealt with. The restorers dealt with that chicken. Lots of reclaim to scoop up. Let's see how much is currently on the map. 243,000 mass. That's almost enough for a Paragon. And there's 3 players left. Half of the players are killed off, and there's that amount of mass still on the field. And those engineers are just going to hover above the surface of the water, just going to kind of hang out and not be shot at. But Otham's just running around the map up here. Team 1 needs to get some expeditionary forces and deal with that. They're going to build more defenses. A Fat Boy is online. The nuke is being, really, really heavily assisted. They need that online. They want it to do something. Don't want to waste the missile. I mean, you could take out... Well, what do you take out, though? Because there's essentially nothing down here. There's a couple of mechs over here. Spy planes inbound. They will see the SMD. If they target that base, it will not work. They have no strategy to take that SMD out. So, Team 2 has air superiority. I don't know why he's not pumping out some of those strap bombers. There goes a nuke, and it's going to go for the base, and it's not gonna do anything. It's going nowhere fast. Oh, and it is the new year. I am recording this before the new year because I have family coming in, and I want to get my recording done, and I'm not, sitting in my office recording while I have family over. It's my in-laws, too, so it's great. I mean, in-laws are fine. They're not bad. We don't get along with everything, but, who's in-law, who does what they're... My mic just disconnected itself for a minute. Apologies for that. Anyway, really nothing has happened, though, in that exchange, though. A chicken was built. We have more restorers running around the map. We have another chicken that's built. A nice group of Othams to the north. And so let's see what ends up happening with these. The Fat Boy does start firing. Othams are trying to get in range. But of course, the Fat Boy is slow. Again, would love to see that producing some shields or some flak or just something. The Othams, unfortunately, just can't catch up, and so they're going to be taken out. The shields do fall on that Fat Boy. It looks like there was some power issues for a second. But the chicken here in the middle is going to wipe up this forward facility. There's not a lot of defenses here, so just wiping stuff off the map. Taking out a radar installation, an Omni. That was a great grab here by Sewell. There's a T2 right here. Might get upgraded to T3. We have the player Born here. Produce some land facilities up here going around. Actually trying to hide in the corners of the map. Has gone straight to T2. Almost T3. Almost done. Trying to get back in this game somehow. We have just ASFs sitting on the ground over here. And I'm going to speed this game up a little bit because there's really not a whole lot going on. We have Fat Boy firing constantly here against the forces in the north here for Sewell. We have the chicken, of course, going after some outlying mexes. We do see a response here from Papa Kababa trying to take out, these forces. They're still trying to get away. But now with 2 Fat Boys online, it's going to be a little bit difficult to deal with that. Chicken should stay out of range, of course. Should not go after anything, it should not get close to the chickens at all, just to be fair. Restorer is going to try to... I wonder where they're going. Does he see... You will see there is a Mechs there. I don't know where he's going with these restorers, though. Maybe we're going to try to protect the the chicken. But he's also going to start using them as scouts. Very interesting play. Born is back on his main side of the map, producing his own facilities as well. Probably should go T3 just to produce T3 facilities. Chicken running around, being shot by Fat Boys. Another nuke going to launch on the base. That's, again, still not going to go anywhere considering the fact that it just, built another missile. There it goes. It's gone. T2, T3 Navy, apologies, is online here for Sewell. So somebody will be happy that somebody used the pawns for Navy. Good luck going AFK for 10 minutes, dropping off Sun, says Born. If I had anything, I'd give it to you. So it does look like Born is essentially out of this game for now. He's going to try to hide somewhere very, very corner of that water. But it's essentially, like I said earlier, it is a 1v1 game. It is a very different kind of game. So that's why I have it sped up to 4. You know, very 1v1. Almost, it essentially is a 1v1 game at this point. Pseudo 1v1 as we call it. And we have a chicken here to the west as well, charging up this flank. And there's really nothing a lot here. There's a couple of AA defenses, a couple of PGens. Not really a whole lot here. There is an air facility, but there is a fat boy moving in to try to assist. It's not going to get in range. I'm going to slow it down to normal speed so we can watch the action unfold. Team 2 has almost 400 mass a second. Team 1 has 450. Not really a huge amount of mass being produced by either team. Go in, take out the T3 facilities. That's the main threat here. There's Fat Boy Fire raining in. You want to have some friendly... I think Friendly Fire does exist. Well, no, it is owned by the same player, so maybe not. But there goes those T2 fabricators. This mass fab's out of the water. T3 Mechs is gone. Defense is going down. Chicken's just going to sit here. Even if it dies, it kills essentially everything here. There goes the T3 air headquarters. Or not. Oh, no. 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 Is it going to... Is it at 140... There it goes. I was like, 143 health. Nothing isn't dead yet. Chicken trying to get kind of close to those fat boys. Doesn't want to push too far. Take out the P-gens. Take out the AA defenses. This is the only thing left online. Why there isn't a shield around this thing, I have no idea. Omni online as well. But the chicken will die. Could have been used a lot better in my opinion. Oh, it was barely in range to attack that fat boy though. Good thing that fat boy still had some shield and whatnot. There goes the T3 at land headquarters. This base is entirely done, wasted, exploded, whatever. P-gen gone. One more P-gen online. Maybe he'll keep that P-gen. Oh, let's see. Will you keep it? Probably. I say that. It looks like it's going to hit it, but it doesn't. He does have a lot of energy to be... Oh, there goes the P-gen. And when I look away is when it happens, of course. Always happens that way. Does have a nice force here in the middle of the map here for school. Or stool. Not school. Producing some aircraft carriers. Very interesting. Want to supplement his air producing facilities. And gets a battleship online. Ooh, he's going to do battleship nukes? Ooh. Ooh, okay, 6 is too fast. Sorry, let's do 3. Yeah, it does produce a battleship, so we'll probably see some battleship nukes. I don't think that nuke is in range, though. Yeah, the yellow, he would need to be in this western pond to really do anything with that nuke. But 2 chickens charging the front line here. 55 minutes in this game, almost 56. 1 Fat Boy Fort defense. There's another one, of course, in the main base, and there's another one as well. So 3 Fat Boys versus 2 chickens. The chickens either move or get out of range, because sitting there taking free damage is not what you should be doing here. And ASF's just sitting back here in the corner. Of course, we have a nice base, fire base, whatever you want to call it, in the in the west corner and the northeast corner, just producing what it can, just building some mass, trying to just stay online, try to stay relevant. They're words are hard sometimes. But Team 1 and Team 2 doesn't really have like any strategy to win. They just have a strategy to survive. We have 1 battleship, 1 aircraft carrier. Maybe Sewell underestimated the range or overestimated the range. It's not building anything. I wonder why it's just sitting there. But, you know, there's something in it. It's better than nothing. Large force moving into the south as well. There's a chicken, guarding that Trimex facility. We're getting into the 1 hour stage in this game. We should see Bourne come back in this game here pretty soon. I think he might be back. I don't know. He was dropping his son off or something. So, which is really weird to say that just like he just left. Because essentially there's really nothing going on. Okay, you don't need 4 T3 land headquarters up here. I think you have enough. Redundancy is great. Like having an additional one is fine. 4 more or 3 more? No, you don't need that many. Nuke is online. Is it going to launch the main base? No, it's going to go for the ASFs. Oh, this would be... Oh, no. Does Sewell notice the nuke? No, he doesn't. Oh, no. Oh, he notices it too late. Oh, it takes out a chunk of them, though. Doesn't take out as many as Papa Kababa. Doesn't take out as many as he would like. But he took out some. That has got to hurt. Ooh, watching ASFs die to nukes. Not the best thing to watch. He has some restores down here. Isn't producing a whole lot. Is he producing a YOLO and I just didn't notice? No, just more SMDs. There is an all washer started. Isn't really continuing with that. If he would build a YOLO, it would be under the protection of the SMD. He's going to build the all washer in the water instead. That's, I mean, yes, you can. Doesn't really matter. Sending them in single file, though, not the best idea. It's easier for your opponent to take out your forces when they come in single file. It's not like T1 spam, like artillery spam, where you can just send in 1,000 of them, and eventually it'll do something. This instance doesn't really do very much. Yeah, I think we'll speed it back up to 3. I forgot to do that. Maybe 4. We'll speed it up to 4. It's just, I of course made sure the game ran. I made sure the game, didn't have any issues with desyncs or anything. I didn't focus on what was going on. It's definitely a weird game. We have some strat bombers. I have a couple of them. Looks like maybe that's what he's going to go for, is strat bombers. I mean, if he takes out Baba Kababa, I mean, Born will inherit everything else, but that might just be game if he kills Baba Kababa. I mean, Team 1 only has to kill one more player, and that's Saul. He's still online. Actually, that's the wrong game I want to look at. They don't know where he is. They know there's something in the air game over here. ASF's over in the top. Will they engage? There's a lot of AA presence over here. They're just killing off some ASFs because why not? A couple of bombers in. Isn't really going to do a whole lot, unfortunately. The shield still holds. ASFs will engage. More strat bombers do come in. They're targeting the T3 mechs. I don't know if that's really worth it, though, at this stage. Because, yeah, you take out one T3 mechs, but you have a RASCOM nearby. Intel jammer, actually, specifically. So you have some sort of, unit that can just rebuild those. Not really worth it. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Fat Boys online. That's a lot of firepower. And I just don't know. I don't know if that's worth it. The battleship isn't building any nukes. The first all washer has been finished. The aircraft carriers, I think, are... What are they producing? But hold on. We have an all washer just going straight in. No air support, no nothing. Just going to go straight for it. And there he goes. Bomb is dropped. Oh, that's going to hurt. Kaboom. The bomb. This game was casted. This game was, conducted, or what occurred before I think the update to the all washer bomber. So it's just the initial landing, except instead of the initial and then the explosion that occurs later on. All washer's just gonna go straight in though, because why not? This has been a weird game as it is, so might as well just say no support. There it goes. He lands, takes out some of the shield, but that's it. Doesn't do a whole lot more damage. Speed it back up. Does he launch in? If he goes in for another attack, that's probably not the best idea. This would be something to grab. There he goes. Takes out those AA emplacements and other PD emplacements. So good on him. Will he go for the intel installation? He will. Takes that out. That's a great grab as well. Trying to just take out intelligence. There's 2 Omnis in the base, so redundancy, again, always nice. Another nuke launches here for Team 1, and it's going to go for this army to the west. Oh, no, it's going to go for the expansion efforts to the south. Oh, it's going to take out a lot of units, a lot of engineers here. Bourne says he is back. We have an all washer being chased by ASFs. The ASFs are not enough, though. That all washer does get out of dodge. We have more all washers being built. Another one has been finished. Takes out that base of units and whatnot. That was taken out pretty quickly. Bourne starts his upgrade. We definitely know he's back now if he's going to start an upgrade. There's a facility up north producing some engineers. Would love to see some harms and go after this stuff up here. But don't... It's huge. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 Fat Boys, and still building more. That is a lot of firepower. All washer comes in over the top, takes out some units. That's a lot of AA. You have to fly through, though. Another all washer nearby, of course. Lightning tanks protect them, force those ASFs back. I'm just playing on 4-speed till we see something huge. Is the all washer just going to go straight in? It is. You could just team up with your another. Oh, the shields go down, though. Oh, that's going to hurt. Takes a lot of hit points off of those Fat Boys. Some of them are still alive, though. Well, not all of them are still alive, to be fair. Bomber goes up here to the north, takes out everything up there. Fat Boys aren't going to win this, says Born. Why are you still making them? Make air, lots of air. I do agree with that. I mean, I love the play of the Fat Boys. Just, it could have done a lot better. All Watch are just going to go straight in, though. The shields are down. I repeat, the shields are down. They're back online now. Never mind. Bomb comes in, takes out some of those edge units, takes out a couple of AA. Just can't commit fully because there's so much AA presence here. And 1 hour, 9 minutes in this game, it's just there's so many other things to grab. How's the ecos going for both teams? Team 2 at 1.0, 1,000 mass versus 700 mass for Team 1. And that comes down to a lot of RAS comms, essentially. Not really going for T3 mexes. And mobile, there is something to be said about having a lot of mobile units in terms of the, 11 mass per second per RASCOM. That's a lot of RAS, that's a lot of mass per second. And you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 by 4. So that's, what is that? I'm do math in my head. 211? No. You times it by 2, which is 20. Oh, 220. That's what it is. Plus more coming in all the time, of course. That is a lot of Fat Boys, though. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And we have a Duke going to be started. And then the second one after that looks like Baba Kababa has some power issues. Needs to build more P-gens first. Going to build more right now. Also going to assist in the getting more air. Stop building T3. Stop it. Stop building a bunch of headquarters. You don't need all them. I know they, have a decent amount of engineering on them, but still, stop it. And not engine in terms of, producing units. They produce them faster. And, oh, here they come. Here come those Outwashers going straight for those Fat Boys. 1 hour, 11 minutes in. This is very good. I mean, not very good, but this is, some of the best action we've seen so far. Another All-Washer lands. Bomb goes in. Looks like it took out his own ASS, but both of those bombers land. Their bombs don't really do much of work. And there goes the third one. That's a lot of mass dumped for Team 1. That's 78,000 mass. That's a lot of mass to dump on your opponent, especially when they're building artillery. Some of those Fat Boys are severely wounded. They're repping up hit points, though. Flame, make Artie or something. Scout, says Born. Team 2, Sewell, you need to build. Oh, there it is. There, that's what I was looking for. I'm going to speed this up a little bit and see if he actually builds that. Because, there's really not a whole lot going on. You kind of figure with an hour, 22 minutes, you make sure the game runs, that sort of thing, that the game would be somewhat entertaining, but going from a 3v3 to essentially a 1v1 is not really super great. And Born is out of it. He's making 3 mass a second, which means, that's when you have a lot. Strap bombers come in, target a Fat Boy. You're going to target another Fat Boy. Takes out 2 Fat Boys with those bombs. Takes out 3 of them. So there's now, 6 left standing, but the strap bombers have been taken out. The ASFs have been severely dealt with. Team 2 has lost its air advantage, but he's more focused on was building that YOLO, which he's about to finish here in the next couple of seconds. Once that YOLO starts launching its nukes, I think that's game over here for Team 1. They only have 1 SMD. It has 7 missiles loaded, so 3 nukes from the super nuke launcher of the YOLO will be able to be just dissuaded. Mass loading needs to occur here. That's the main goal. Look at that thing. Just even at +4 speed, that thing is loading quick. Gonna fire that first one. You just can't stop firing. Gotta fire it. It's loaded. Come on. Satellites might be the play, says Born. I don't know about that, and you might need something more powerful than a satellite. But 1 artillery has almost been finished, though, so they'll have something. Scout more says Scout will go in, see what's going on. Lots of AA emplacements all around the map here for Team 1. And the YOLO should be launching now. I mean, you gotta load that thing. Attack with chickens. Or attack the chicken, says Born. And there goes the nuke. What does it go for? It goes for the rear. And, I mean, the SMD, I don't think the SMD's in range to go for that YOLO. No, it's not. So this position will tie off pretty quickly. There it goes. Kaboom! Takes out everything up there. Takes out the mess. No SMD or build more. He says that artillery is not going for the YOLO. Should go for YOLO. More shields. I mean, more shields. Yes, that's important. But against the... Okay, what, sir? Sewell, what are you doing? YOLO GG, says Baba Kababa. 1 hour, 17 minutes in. It's not even attacking the main base, though. It's going after units. It's going after literally everything else but that. It will kill off, let's see, 1, 2 Fat Boys. That's it, though. Those chickens are being bombarded by that Fat Boy fire. You play very passively. You have to play more aggressively if you want to get better. He played slightly less passively than you. We have a bunch of Colossus in the water, because why not? Now let's slow this down. Another nuke is inbound, but the shields are down around that YOLO. He's gonna build more shield generators, though. They are Seraphim, so it's gonna take a while to chew through those hit points on those shield generators. But you know, it can be possible. 1 artillery, not so much, but 2 or 3 might do it. And there goes the YOLO to the west. Just take out the main base. Take out the nuke launcher here. Take out something. I mean, taking out mass, taking out facilities is good, but you know, you should be taking out those high-value targets. Takes out essentially everything here. I love how these Ravagers are gone, but not these 2. These 2 are special for some reason. Oh, man, that's another YOLO landing. We have artillery, of course, going after that. YOLO now needs more shielding being built everywhere. Needs some more on that east side. And there is one going to be built. Okay, don't build these. Don't build these. Build the Seraphim ones. No. Never mind. He's not listening to me to the ether. I don't have a good line of communication. Units are moving in to engage, though. Will it be enough? There's still some defenses online, so don't know if it's going to matter. Another YOLO nuke is inbound. It just wants to kill those Fat Boys, but the Colossi don't care if they're going to charge in. They're going to actually get some friendly fire in. Oh, there goes the YOLO right on top of those Colossus. Oh, there goes 1. There goes 2. 2 Colossus dead for 1 Fat Boy. Not really a good trade there. But they're going to get another Fat Boy, though. How'd that push to the west go? The chicken is pushing in, going after those P-Gens. It's going to take a beating. The energy production is going to take a beating. I'm talking about Papa Kadaba. Plus 16,000. That's going to go down pretty quickly. He does have some RASCOMs, though, so that'll help with the generation. But look at this. Just the orange is coming in and just eating his base alive. Takes out the nuke. How's the artillery doing? Let's slow that down for a second. Nuke now finally landing in the main base, or at least launching on the main base. Shield's still holding strong, though, so he's perfectly fine there. All good, says Bourne. So at least there's some good camaraderie going on. Otham's just being peppered by Ravager fire. They need to go in and just charge. Papa Kababa building a bunch of artillery. I don't know. He could have built Mabor, I guess. That probably would have been not a guess, but that would have been a better play. But there's no YOLOs. Oh, sorry, there's no SMDs. Oh, and that YOLO's going to land. Oh, looks like he eliminated most of those SMDs. There it goes. And, oh, no, the main launcher was down. And there goes the comm. And Bourne's team recalls. And that is it. Team 2's Soul wins this game. I'll give the MVP here to him. He stuck it out for a very long time by himself in a 2v1 scenario. There was a time he was struggling in the south, but he just kept doing it slowly but surely. Don't know what he was planning on doing. Maybe he thought the range on these things was bigger than, yeah, they actually were. So that would have been a really interesting play with those battleship nukes. But you know, he ended up winning the game with a YOLO, so love to see that. But then again, just a very different game. That's might be the tag, not the tagline, but the description for the video is like a different version of a 1v1 or something, a different 1v1, maybe something like that. Anyway, let me know down in the comments how you guys felt about this match and my pick for MVP of Seoul. Again, thank you so much for watching to the end of the video. Hit that, I don't know what I said there. Hit to the end of the video. Hit that sub button, hit the like button, comment down below, and I will see all of you in the next one.